Oh my god.
All right, what's up? Welcome into Snuffing Torches Survivor 48, Episode 3 recap. We got me, Nate, Clemmer, and a very special guest from Survivor Season 47, Saul. Saul, welcome on. Thanks for coming on. I know we DM'd, we met each other at that Survivor event. So happy to get you on. We promised more players coming on, and we figured who better to start with than you.
Nobody better, baby. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
My winner's pick from last season.
I know, Nate. I'm sorry, dude. Like I let you down. Was probably the worst part of it, letting you down, man.
Thank you. All's forgiven. As long as that's
we can
clear.
play poker together and like tag team at the table in a tournament or something.
Sounds good to me.
An incredible episode for you to join us on. What a tribal council.
From beginning to end, that was an awesome episode.
Yeah, had comedy, drama, the tribal itself at the end. I missed the previews, but people were saying, oh, it's been built up as a historic tribal council. I kind of figured that when the immunity challenge ends at 8:30, you head to tribal council at 9:05. You know something's about to go down. That was madness, absolute madness. One of the best, most unique tribal councils we've had in a long time. Like that almost had the vibes of Suri in Game Changers when she got voted out because like everybody else was safe.
Yeah, I thought that's what was about to happen.
Has that ever happened where nobody's name was written down on parchment to the person who's leaving the island, where someone just to go, you're going home?
Yeah, it was Suri that year in Game Changers, season 34. Everybody else was safe. Nobody voted for her, but like they just had to. It was like, well, everyone else has an idol or a fucking necklace. Like, you're going home. Sorry, brutal. But yeah, this one was, we got 4 people. Which let's actually start with. I hated that journey tonight.
Wait, hold on, Tommy.
Should we start with the journey?
Should we start? Yeah, we got to choose.
No.
We're starting from the beginning of the episode, Tommy.
No. We're going to get in. We'll start with Tribal Council, but I'm just saying to set up Tribal Council, we need to mention that Justin didn't have a vote. That's a major part of it, and like Justin didn't have a vote because of the journey, which I hated. I thought that it's one thing when people risk and they want to go themselves and take the risk. He just got chosen by the other tribe to go there. He rolls the skulls, so he doesn't have a vote. I hated that. It's one thing, and you could probably speak to this better, Saul, as like playing, but I'm sure it's harder. It's hard on the island to not take the risk when it's dangled in front of you. But to me, like Justin was Justin did nothing wrong to not have a vote tonight. His tribe lost the challenge. He got chosen to go, and there was no skill involved. He just rolled some wrong fucking dice. I thought it was a tough break.
We've talked about that, Tommy, where when something's left up to pure chance that you have no control over, that's when the game's at its worst. He was chosen randomly. Fine. I'm fine with that because they could have chose anyone from the tribe. But to go on the journey and the whole thing is roll a dice. It's so beyond bad if you don't have any control over your own destiny in Survivor. That's the thing I hate the most about it, is when they take any skill out of the game.
And it's so unnecessary. We don't have to have a journey all the time. There's a need for all these journeys. This is a pointless journey. They went there just to roll dice. Why? Why did they have this? It was infuriating to watch. I was so mad. I don't like it. It wasn't needed, especially when you have obviously didn't know at the time, but then you have an episode of the Wild Tribal it was just.
To be fair, we don't get the Wild Tribal without that journey.
I guess you're right. That's glass half empty, but it's true. Yeah. But very frustrating.
Did you go on a journey last season? I don't remember.
Fuck no. I wish. So Rome, we had done rock, paper, scissors on one of the challenges, and I won. And then they didn't do a journey on it. We predicted they were going to do a journey. And then when they did actually do a journey, I started to walk to the boat, and Rome threw a temper tantrum. It was like, well, that was for the last one. So we had to do rock, paper, scissors again. Oh. And he beat me. He beat everybody, actually. And so he got very lucky there. Yeah, Justin got incredibly unlucky on this episode. He is on this tribe. He got chosen to go, lost his vote. His lie was pretty dumb, but it would have worked out for him if Mary doesn't hit her shot in the dark because Jeff's only going to read 2 votes. So just got incredibly unlucky here.
Yeah. What was there a vibe of like, because last time we saw, or was it last episode of the episode before, where people, like, some people didn't want to go or they wanted to go depending on what number they threw out. Was there a vibe more or less like, do people want to go on the journey? Like, for us watching, it's like, I wouldn't want to go on that and risk losing my vote. But when you're there, it's like, I want to take this risk, and also I just want to fucking leave the beach. And
I would say, is it a boredom factor at some point? Like, I'll go on a journey.
I think most people want to go on the journey, but I remember on our journey, Asia said she didn't want to go. So she actually didn't do the rock, paper, scissors, which really pissed me off because that increases Rome's odds of winning.
Right.
But that was everyone else, I think, secretly wants to go. But yeah, that one, she didn't want to go.
So yeah, Justin, like we said, you alluded to it, really bad lie. So we're back at camp. They're about to go to tribal. Bad lie about it. He's like, yeah, we had question marks, red and white question marks for fire and food and shelter. It's like, Justin, what's going to happen tomorrow when nobody shows up on a boat with like a pillow for you? People are gonna be like, where the fuck's my blanket, Justin? You said we got a blanket. That was just such a, I mean, I don't hate lying like in that scenario, but he could have come up with something better than that. But
yeah.
Those other,
and that's a long boat ride too, to think about something too. I mean, it's a solid 30-minute, 45-minute boat ride.
Bianca's lie was great. Like, Bianca told a perfectly believable lie. This lie by Justin was so bad. It was like a little kid lying about not getting the report cards. Like, eventually you got to pull that report card out. Like, Justin eventually tomorrow has to explain why they don't have any rewards.
But I will say, nobody on his tribe seemed to pick up on it. Nobody questioned him at all. They were like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, we're getting some food tomorrow. Thanks, Justin. So, yeah, they go to tribal council. We got Mary, Cedric, Justin, and Say. So, little tribe breakdown. Mary on the outs, obviously. Justin, Say, and Cedric are kind of a tight 3. Cedric's sort of in the middle of those two. Say had thrown out, maybe we get Justin out because she's afraid Mary has something, but Cedric and Justin are close. Justin's a little bit nervous because he doesn't have his vote and everyone's expecting a pizza party tomorrow, the next day. This dynamic is, today they became like the chaotic tribe to me. Like, I know they were pathetic the last couple times, but today they embraced the like, oh yeah, this is a good old-fashioned pathetic chaotic tribe. And my favorite of this tribe, I love Mary. I can't get enough of Mary.
Yeah. I've met Mary in person a few times. She's awesome. Like, you guys would all love hanging around with her. Bring tremendous amount of energy, and everything that she brought to the game today was just pure cinema. Just awesome.
Yeah, she's getting, it's early, but she's funny. She's playing the game. She's kind of fucking around with people. I like her a lot so far. I don't know if she can win, but she's like the entertaining cast member in the good way, not in the Rome way, if we want to bring him back up. Like, not in like the patronizing, annoying way. She's just fun when she's on screen.
We'll talk more season 47 with Saul at the end too. But cool. Yeah, I like Mary a lot, and her and Say are going at it in the tribal council. Like, they need to start like a podcast or something, some like murder mystery, like boozing podcast or something. They're a heck of a duo. So we go to vote. Mary plays her shot in the dark, I think for second time ever, right? It worked. Second or third time ever? Second for sure. I know Caleb
at least
had
2.
Yeah, Caleb had it.
This is the second time that it's worked where it needed to work. The other 2 times that it's worked, it didn't matter. Like, the person was safe.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So yeah. Caleb, I think,
Caleb and Mary.
Yeah. So Mary works beautifully. 2 votes on her. 1 vote.
No,
all votes. Sorry.
Both votes.
2 votes on her. Yeah, 2 votes on her, but those are the only 2 votes because she risked her vote. Justin doesn't have a vote. Right. I thought it was weird, and you texted this too, Nate, like that she was like, I told you guys. Say it was like, I told you guys. I told you. So like, what were you telling them? That she was going to hit this 1 in 6 shot of a shot in the dark? She didn't have an idol.
No. We all know people like that who, I told you, I told you so. No, you didn't say any of this. And also, like, even if you did, there's no way you could stop it. Like, that was infuriating. I am not a fan of Say at all, and today didn't help. I didn't like her. I don't like her. Don't like her.
Yeah, I went like, yeah, no kidding. Like, she's the least likable person on the show. Like, that's not exactly. Yeah, she kept saying, "I told you so. I told you so." I was like, did she say something about splitting the vote that she kept "told you so" in? Like, I couldn't figure out what she meant by that.
I think she meant that I think that she thought that Mary had an idol, and when she stood up and said Jeff,
right,
her instant reaction was like, "Oh, I told you guys."
Yeah, but she kept saying it after.
She kept doing it after it was safe.
I see.
I thought the same thing. Like, I thought it was like, oh, she thinks it's an idol. But then after it was revealed safe, she was like, I told you guys. And then she went up. She's like, this is why you never listen to men. It was like, what are you talking about? Like, she hit a 1 in 6 dice roll. Like, what was supposed to happen there?
I bet you love that one, Tommy.
What?
This is why you can't trust men. Yeah.
And then also, I mean, they showed a few. I think Cedric might have sort of picked up on it, but the fact that there were only 2 votes should have been a little bit of a red flag. Like, I don't know how that didn't raise a discussion where someone spoke up and was like, wait a minute, what just happened to
Bro, Saul, is it bad editing, or did she really not realize both times there was only 2 votes? And she was like, wait a minute, you haven't had a vote this whole time? I was like, what do you...
Yeah, I don't know, guys. That was a weird one.
I think she was so mad that her name was written down, she like blacked out and she just completely lost. She was so angry at Cedric for writing her name down that I don't think she could see straight.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, because how you don't know at that point, because it's so critical. Yeah, she just blacked out.
Yeah, maybe you're thinking like, oh, he doesn't have to read the third because, you know, it was also Mary or something like that. Like, you might be able to convince yourself in like the mayhem of that moment that, all right, maybe I'm missing something, right? Maybe I'm missing something, whatever. It's all fine. So then the other 3 get up to vote again. You can't vote for Mary, but you can vote for anybody else, except Justin can't vote, but he goes up, he fakes it. Cedric votes for Justin and Cedric votes for Say. Jeff reads it, 1-1 tie. And now Jeff's like, all right, like, sorry, Justin, like, the jig's up, buddy. Like, you can't vote. Like, I would have just like, come on, Jeff. I thought we had so at that point, it's like, all right, now, you know, voting. Let me make sure I'm not missing a step here because
kidding.
Yeah. Justin and Say vote each. Tie player Jeff was like, yeah, you can't vote Justin. Say's very mad at Cedric. So at this point, it's like, all right, voting again, only and Say can vote this time. Justin, sorry, like, you don't have a vote. Say is obviously going to vote for Justin. Now, Cedric at this point could just make this a relatively easy tribal council. He could send Justin home. He knows that Say is obviously voting for Justin. He doubles down and votes for Say again.
Well, I don't blame him for that. If you really want to send her home, that's fine. Now we're starting to get into territory though where I get mad again. But that part I actually I'm not mad at.
Yeah,
well, this is where like they don't recognize the numbers.
Yeah,
it's like there's only 2 people voting here. That's what I was so surprised about when they're shocked that Justin goes up there, but clearly he doesn't have a vote because he's read those 2. We know that he doesn't have a vote at this point, right?
Yeah.
If you're paying attention,
which there's been 2 votes pulled out 2 times.
Yeah.
It's not a hot. Yeah, I am so perplexed by that, and there's zero strategy or talking between votes.
Well, no, on this revote, they knew Justin didn't have a vote anymore because Jeff announced it to the tribe. This was after Jeff was like, Justin, you don't have a vote.
But why did they point at each other like, all right, let's just choose one. Like, let's choose the person to send home. End this.
Well, Cedric didn't. The only person they could send home is Justin.
Yeah, nobody flipped their vote.
Well, right. Cedric didn't.
Well, Cedric wasn't worried about sending himself home, which is also crazy.
Yeah, that is. Had voted for Cedric though. Here,
instead of voting for couldn't have because the tie was between Justin and Say.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So this tie was between Justin and Say.
So Cedric was safe no matter what. Okay.
Cedric was safe no matter what. So then you could only vote for Justin or Say. Justin can't vote.
Right.
So that means Say can. She's obviously going to vote Justin, and then that leaves it up to Cedric to be like, I'm either going to keep this fucking charade going. Let's keep this historic tribal council rolling, or I could just vote Justin, send them home. He says he chooses to vote Cedric again, to vote Say again. So now we have another tie. Now at this point, there was a part of him where I was like, there's no way Cedric just voted himself out of this game, right? There's no way that happened. But no, he didn't. Jeff, he goes to his little stool and he's like, so here's what happens. At this point, when you have a tie also on a revote, if you can't come to a consensus as a tribe, as everybody except those two people, then we go to rocks. Obviously, Justin and Say have no input. Mary doesn't have a vote, so she has no input. So he's like, I'm really just talking to you, Cedric. Like, basically, choose between one of these two to go home, or you are going home yourself. What an awkward spot for Cedric. I mean, it's one thing a voting person out, but you just have to like literally do it right there. Be like, I'm choosing you to go home. It's a tough spot for Cedric.
I don't know if it's that tough. You get to stay in the game and you get to pick who you want to go with you. I think it's kind of a great spot.
It obviously I'd rather be him than the other two. But
Plumber's right. Tommy. It's a dream spot. You just voted for the same person 2 times. It's so easy.
Yes.
There's never been an easier vote.
You're not even on the jury. This is a great spot to be in. Send him fucking home.
He should have been doing backflips. Like, he's like, I get to just, every vote I did, I get to do it again.
I just meant the moment of voting someone out to their face is harder than the moment of writing it down on a piece of parchment.
Hey, I just voted for you twice. I'm voting for you a third time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
True Survivor players know that's harder. But yeah, they go. I wouldn't even say they go back and forth. Say gives a pretty good pitch. She's like, Justin was fucking lying about the weird camp thing. What was he even talking about? Like, that was a lie. And Cedric's like, no, but I'm probably going to keep Justin. He was my day one. That's my day one ally. And to me, the first connection matters the most. Say's like, whatever, he lied. Justin just like, look, bro, no matter what happens, you can come eat my pizza. Like, Justin does not give any sort of emboldened pitch to stay in this game. Justin was just there for the vibes.
He might have been like, oh, this is all performative because you already wrote her name down 2 times. I don't really have to like ham it up for the cameras. Like, write 3 letters down. Let's go back to camp. I'm hungry.
He's trying to generate more sales at the pizza spot, and
he did get a good Luigi's plug-in.
Yeah.
Justin said to him, "You'll always have a place at Luigi's." What the fuck? Who gives a fuck about your shitty pizza place? What are we doing here? Are you kidding me? You're fighting for $1 million and you tell me you always have a place at Luigi's? That was insane. That was a horrible defense. It was awful. Jeff should be mad at. He basically quit.
The only thing I can think of is Luigi's must be doing incredibly well. Justin doesn't need the money. Like, Luigi's is a
what's the rating on that, by the way? Do we know?
7-8.
7-8?
7.5. Dave gave it a 7.5 in
Okay.
Revere math.
Fair
But yeah, I mean, I could sort of get it if Justin is like, Say is being the crazier one, right? She's being very emotional. She's being like, you better choose me or I'm going to be mad at you. There is an argument to be the calmer one and be like, whatever happens, man, it's okay, to sort of prove that, hey, you're an easier person to work with. But I don't think that was like a strategy by Justin. I think Justin was just pretty checked out at that point. I was like, yeah, whatever fucking happens here.
Yeah. I think Cedric is now at the bottom of his tribe, I think. That was a bad vote by Cedric.
I was going to say that. It was also very dumb for him to be like, I'll only keep Say on one condition.
Yeah.
You two need to make up. You two need to kiss and make up. And then we could all be one big happy family. Cedric, you have 2 people that fucking hate each other in a tribe of 3.
Can I say something? I don't want to be reactionary. I don't want to be living too much in the moment. That was one of the worst moments in Survivor history. It made me hate the show in that exact moment. If you guys will just kiss and make up and sing Kumbaya, I just don't want to be at. And then that's the reason that Cedric is my least favorite player. I mean, he's maybe a nice guy, real life, whatever.
He is
rocks for brains. Like, that was the dumbest tribal I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I'm noticing his guns there.
I'm noticing that you're trying to be nice to these players because I assume you've met a lot of them.
Yeah.
We don't play by those rules.
Oh, I know those. I know that, baby. I know that very well.
We did meet some, I think, at the premiere party, but I don't care. If someone plays dumb, they're gonna get called out. That's just the Snuffing.
I love it. I love it. I'm here
way,
for
as
it.
they say. Yeah, Cedric.
One more thing. The only way I'll forgive Cedric is if he, like, I will admit I'm bad at running the numbers and figuring that stuff out, like, in real time. I need him to be like, I'm just dumb and bad at that. That's what I need him to say. Otherwise, it's like the worst strategic move that you can like. He's done. He's done.
He basically what Cedric did in that tribal council is he voted out his closest ally, made an enemy of his second closest ally, and made that second closest ally closer to her enemy.
Yeah,
correct.
Like it could not have handled worse. Now I will say,
well, in fairness, Tommy, he has a place at Luigi's.
He does have. He get a grandma's
in the back making pizzas. Like that's about it.
I will say, I know Nate, you don't watch the scenes for next week, but scenes for next week there is a tribe swap coming. So
there is. I didn't watch the tribe swap.
Yeah,
okay.
Doesn't say. I'd assume it's going to be 3 tribes of 5. So as much shit as we're talking about Cedric, still incredibly stupid, but he's going to get his asses saved here.
I'm glad. I can't stand watching this Voodoo tribe anymore. They are just a mess. They're horrible to watch in the challenges.
I would have liked to see this tribe of 3. I would have liked to see this dysfunctional 3 go to tribal, though.
That's true.
Oh. I could see Say really rubbing the other tribes the wrong way. I don't think she's like instantly. Like I'm surprised. Like the fact she's even still in this game is crazy.
This has to be a first from Nick in the YouTube chat. Cedric voted for every single person in his tribe tonight. That has to be a first, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's incredible.
I take it all back. I'm kind of love this guy now. Like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. All right. You. No.
And
all
got
right.
an invite to pizza.
Yeah. Is Cedric low-key the Godfather? just voting out his whole tribe. Nobody's coming for our guy Cedric.
You two make up.
Yeah,
exactly. There's a scene in Breaking Bad where like the twins, their dad like holds them underwater because they were like fighting over something. That's basically what he did. So I think Cedric might be the favorite now.
I would love for someone to fact check that. Has to be the first time in Survivor. I mean, not counting when like Bobby, John, and Stephanie were a tribe of 2 or whatever. Like,
that's right.
And at least a tribe of 4, it has to be the only time. That was.
Heather called him the new Roxroy. That's so mean.
No, Roxroy was an all-timer.
Meanwhile, the man is a surgeon. Cedric is a surgeon.
Yeah, I did. I think it was Heather earlier.
Well, so was Gabler. So let's fact check that real quick. Gabler called himself a surgeon. He sold Band-Aids to the pediatrician.
Have you met Gabler?
I've talked to him on the phone.
Is he the GOAT?
He's a great dude.
He does seem like
talk shit about his game on here. I'm all for that, but he's a great dude.
No, I had him pegged early as a winner very early.
I think it's still one of the most insane things in Survivor history that he won somehow.
It's crazy.
Marianne is such a more bizarre winner than he is.
Oh
no, it's not even close.
That was a tough 1-2 punch. Wasn't that back-to-back seasons?
Saul, who's the worst winner of the new? I don't want you to get in trouble or anything.
Well, here's what I'll say about Gabler's game is that he got to the end because no one cared about him. But while like every single day he was out there, he was building one-on-one, deep conversations with every single one of those people. And in those moments when you're at the final tribal council and you're reminding people and you're getting into their hearts, they will plug at it and vote his name, and that's what happened.
I almost feel like Gabler wasn't doing that as gameplay though. Like Gabler was just out there like chopping it up with people on vacation, and he somehow like won Survivor. Like in my head, Gabler
he was tucking people in at night, kissing them on the forehead.
Gabler was just there tucking people in with the palm fronds, like shouting out Alaska and the military in that one challenge. Like Gabler was on a 26-day beach vacation, and then at the end of the day, they were like, "Here's $1 million, Gabler."
he is a great guy, but yeah, as far as like the worst in the new era, I think Marianne. I'm with you.
People in chat are saying
Erica might be worse.
Well, I would say Erica just didn't exist on the show. We can't even judge her game because they didn't show her. Like Marianne, they showed, and she was just blech. But
Erica, wasn't she the one who got that huge advantage?
Yeah, the hourglass turned.
Yeah, which they don't even do anymore.
Yeah.
Jeff admitted at the thing we went to was that the worst decision he's ever made on the show was the hourglass thing.
Yeah.
He
was like, sometimes we go too far. The hourglass.
There's a lot of questions for Saul about last season in general. People want to ask about Teeny's gameplay.
Well, I think let's save that. Let's go through this episode. Yeah, if you're in the chat, you got questions, just save them for the end. And I mean, anything else you guys have on that tribal count? I think we did a decent job of covering all, but anything else you guys want to talk about that tribal before we move on to the rest of the episode?
From the tribal, no, but man, I want to talk about David at the beginning.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah. Well,
so
really
David,
Kyle than David, but okay.
David is an all-time character. I can't get enough David. Just this big hunk stunt man. He's talking to Kyle. He's like, "Yeah, I live in a trailer park right outside my dad." And Kyle goes, "That's awesome, man." And David's like, "No, it's not." Like that. What about that sentence sounded awesome to you? I'm 38 years old. I live in a fucking trailer park next to my dad. Like, don't. I appreciate Kyle, I guess, like trying to be like, oh yeah. Like I thought even Fishback had a funny tweet where he's like, we got to make a meme of like Kyle like making uplifting sob stories. Like, oh, but it's the good type of cancer, right? That's awesome,
dude. Kyle said something like, "Is it a small house or something?" And no, David's like, "No, it's a normal size."
He's like, "Did you say your dad has a lot of land?" He's like, "No, my dad has regular lands."
The whole dude.
I just kept digging deeper and deeper, didn't he?
Let me talk to David real quick, one-on-one. If your girlfriend gives you an ultimatum that you have to win Survivor or she's breaking up with you, you got to break up with her, my guy. Like that, when he said that, like, okay, I get it. They want a family. They want 4 kids. You can't raise 4 kids on $500,000 after taxes. You got to get a job. If Stuntman's not working, you got like David, you can't go on Survivor like it's a scratch off lottery ticket, David. You got to get your life together. You got to get off your dad's front lawn. Like you just have to.
I love the idea that David's girlfriend was breaking up with him, and he's like, "Please, babe, like, what can I do?" And she's like, "I don't know, go fucking win Survivor," like offhand. And then a week later, he's like, "Babe, great news, got casted on Survivor."
You know how much David's parents, like the neighbors, must hate David? He was ruining property value. He's camped out in front of this house. I can't imagine this poor neighborhood.
His girlfriend's screaming at him every night.
Yeah.
He's got 4 nipples. He's running around shirtless.
He won't drink any water. He's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that was a shocking development. And Nate, you're absolutely right, though. I know we're kind of all kidding, but like David, like you got to find you can't live your life like that. Like, find someone who loves you for you. I understand you're trying to have a family, but this isn't the way.
Yeah. I didn't want to be like, oh, David, your girlfriend's a fucking bitch. Like, you got to break up with her because, like, I'm sure there's more to it. Like, I'm sure that their love story can't be summed up in that 15 seconds, but it doesn't look good on the surface for David's girlfriend. Like, and David's girlfriend's probably watching like, what the fuck? Why did you say that on national TV to everybody? You just made me look so bad. Like, I'm sure there is a deep conversation they've had where it's like, I want to start a family. I want to raise kids. We need more money. You live in a trailer park outside your dad's house. And David just summed it up to, if I don't win Survivor, my girlfriend's going to break up with me.
It's over.
Yeah.
That's definitely a conversation that he had with his girlfriend before the episode aired. Be like, babe, I need to talk to you for a second.
Or no, he was like, babe, let's go to dinner tonight. Babe, let's not even watch tonight. Like, let's go out.
We need to watch this episode.
Yeah, let's have an us night.
Going to McDonald's, I think.
Yeah, I would say they don't go to dinner. They dine in dinner.
Yeah, true. He unplugged the electricity from the trailer.
For a romantic, the moon was shining through the blinds at the exact right angle at a candlelight dinner. I
like David. All that being said, I like David.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I like David. I like the other 2 tribes so much. Almost everybody in them.
I would like to hear Saul's opinion on this. Because I wrote down Joe is too good. They need to get rid of him immediately.
Hey man, he is fucking good. Like you can see everyone loves him. He's building bonfires out there. That's a first on Survivor, right?
And then the girl is obsessed with him, gave him like a friendship bracelet. It's like,
yeah.
they're
as soon as she did that, I was like, nope, bad move. And that's the other thing too, is I wonder if Dave is the only one that knows that she has autism.
Joe, yeah, I think.
Joe.
I'm sorry, Joe. He is. I mean, as far as the audience knows, she said, I only told Joe. I wanted to tell somebody. I don't think anyone else knows. And like,
and so if knowing you don't know that, like,
right, us knowing that, it's like, oh, that's sweet. They have this bond. Like, she's giving him the bracelet. Like, if you're like Thomas or Bianca, like, what the fuck? Like, why are you giving him a bracelet for your daughter? So that did kind of put a target on her back. And then she didn't help herself not that as much, but what really put target on her back is when she went to Star and then was like, I think maybe we only need one puzzle person, Thomas or Bianca. Could have worked. It's a worthy shot to try to line yourself with the person on the bottom who might have an idol. But Star was like, no, I trust Thomas and Bianca. She goes back to them and is like, Eva's, coming for me. And so they're like, all right, we knew it. Like, Joe and her together are going to be too powerful. So I actually really thought they were going to tribal tonight, just based on the setup. Like, I thought that them or even the Orange Tribe, they had a little bit of setup too. Now, like, none of that really matters because they're merging next week. So, like, I mean, I guess some will end up on the same tribe, but none of it matters really that much.
I was going to throw my bullshit flag on that. So they have the bonfire. Star's not even there for the bonfire. And then they show Bianca's like upset with Eva, but like they never actually solve her immunity thing. If you judge the actions, not the words, Eva is in no worse shape than she was before the episode started, and Star is still at the bottom.
Yeah, that's true, but I do think like conversations now are being had of like Joe and Eva are too close.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that necklace that was.
Yeah,
I saw it because I'm watching it as a fan. Oh, that's sweet. That's nice. But then you see Saul's reaction, and that was exactly the same reaction the players had on the island of like, oh, no, that's not good.
What's that?
It's a nice
bracelet?
Yeah, it's a nice TV moment, gameplay moment when like you don't know the full backstory. You're on the island. You're like I would be pissed if I saw two of my tribe members exchanging bracelets.
Yeah, you give that bracelet like one-on-one.
Yeah,
you don't give it in front of the whole group.
Yeah.
Her whole thing, I'm gonna watch my words here. Her whole thing of I'm bad at knowing when people are lying to me on a TV show about lying to people.
It's going to be an issue, obviously.
It also like kind of wears thin in a way where like, no, that's the whole point of a lie is you don't know that the person's lying to you.
Yeah, but I mean, you understand what she's saying. Like,
I kind of don't.
Well,
really?
I'm not going to break down autism for you, but I assume that people who are autistic have a tougher time lying to people and seeing when people are lying to them.
Well, I'm still going back to the fact that 70% of the cast historically is autistic. So it's nothing,
probably in their own way.
It's not. I mean, Saul, how many on your cast? John Levitt,
Saul Yee.
Yeah. But that tribe, Thomas and Bianca, I think is a duo to watch going forward. Like, I think that
love that duo. She came back from. She lost a vote, correct? She lost a vote, and she came up with a good lie of like, oh, it was a tough, rope thing. I chose to just not risk it. That's got to be the lie you go with. It's just like, I didn't even try to risk it. But she tells Thomas, and Thomas like, I'm glad she told me, but I'm not telling her that I got an extra vote, or he had an extra vote, or either a steal vote, one of those two at the last time.
I think it's steal.
So I respect that too from Thomas not telling her. So there's really no point of breaking down the tribe dynamics going forward when we know a swap is coming. But the Orange Tribe, we sort of had Mitch and Charity bonding. Kyle and Mitch had a little conversation with Kyle and David in the middle. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else?
Saul, you had someone stalking you around in an episode, right? The same way that happened tonight with Mary.
Yeah. It was Rome.
Dude, it's totally different though because those two respect each other.
Right.
Yeah, Rome was just trying to like I can't remember exactly why he was doing that. I just remember like my note being like I would have wanted to punch him in the head so badly.
Oh yeah. It was the dude was just annoying as hell 24/7, and then he's chasing you. So the difference is like you see Mary and Say having like respectful conversations like, dude, I appreciate how you're playing this game. Like that never happened because it was just like a migraine when he was around.
We might as well we're into it now. I mean, was Rome just truly as unbearable as he appeared on TV?
Yeah. I mean,
Worse?
Worse.
I would say every interview since then, people have been basically saying it was like that. He was just insufferably annoying.
So it would be like this, guys. If I asked you a question, Nate,
Yes.
you started to talk, I would cut you off 5 seconds into your conversation, and then I would start telling my answer to my own question. It was like that for the whole time. And the questions would be like, hey, Tommy, what's your favorite year? You're like, what the fuck?
It's a tough one. I don't know.
Well, my favorite year is 1997, and let me tell you why. And then just go on, and that's what camp life was like around Rome. And then the other thing too is I was the one because we didn't have any tools for like a week. So if anyone wanted to eat, I had to bash a rock into a coconut, and so I was breaking coconuts for everybody, and it sucked to like have to feed Rome, right?
Yeah.
And then the time when he would catch fish, this dude ate all the fish on his own and like wouldn't share it, but he would give a little bit like that, and so it just sucked, guys. Like it fucked my game up. As I hate to say it, I hate to admit that, but it did.
I wanted to ask. So that original tribe you were on had Genevieve, you two, Teeny,
Keyshawn,
Asia,
and Asia.
Oh yeah, but there was a point where you were on the bottom of your tribe, and Rome was seemingly in the driver's seat. And I remember us and most of our fans being like, "How the fuck is that? Like, why aren't they like?" Obviously, Saul is way more likable and like easy to work with than Rome. What was happening on the island where, for whatever reason, like how did Rome have power?
Can I follow up with that before you answer? There was a scene where you also looked at the camera. You were on the beach, and you're like, "I need to get my head out of my ass." Like I like were you like brain fog? Like what's happening out there?
So, Tommy, to answer your question, Rome got 2 advantages in like 3 days. He got an idol and he got a steal a vote. And everyone knew that, but Asia and me. However, Asia and I both knew that Rome had something because he was like looking like a madman. What you don't do on Survivor where it was obvious. And all of a sudden, one day he just stopped and was this cocky, confident guy. And we're like, okay, he's definitely got something. And then he goes on the journey. He's clearly lying. It's, in my eyes, I'm like, he's lying. He's got something. And then, I found myself at the bottom. And that was the only way I was going to be at the bottom on that tribe because Rome was so disliked by everybody except for Genevieve. And then Nate, I remember that episode. That's when Rome actually tells me everything at one point because he's kind of losing his shit.
Yeah.
After we lose a reward challenge, not even an immunity challenge, it was a reward challenge, and he's hungry and he just loses it and tells me everything. And that's when I'm like, oh my God, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
That was a tough moment for me because you think that you know something, but even Teeny like didn't tell me that she had this advantage, and that sucked to hear. So yeah, dude, it's a tough game, especially when you're on the bottom like I was for so long. With that said, on paper, like being on the bottom and the dude who hates you the most has an idol and a steal a vote, I beat him.
You did? Yeah, it's true. You got him.
How about him on his way out telling Jeff, "You'll see me again or I'll be back," whatever that was?
That was Gabe.
Oh, that was Gabe.
Yeah.
Rome.
Rome sat in Jeff's chair.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Rome also, Heather brought up in the chat, like kind of spoiled the boot order last. Like, is that something you guys were aware of? Like, he did an interview where he was like, "I'll do the one word association game in my own way," and he went through with like the winners and then the jury or something. Was that something the cast was aware of? And you guys were like, "Fuck this guy."
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because we didn't tell anybody. No,
right. I know my wife saw it on Reddit. I just came in tonight and like I saw a Reddit thread and she told me about it, not the order, because she knows I hate spoilers. I didn't even bring it up on this show because I didn't want any sort of. I think spoilers suck. Like,
How many people were you? Are you married?
I am.
Were you? Did you tell your wife what place you came in when you got home?
No.
Really?
What?
Yeah, because we're live and you signed an NDA.
No.
I mean, I feel like Survivor has to know that like people are going to tell their fucking
spouses. Yeah.
Here's what I'll tell you. A lot of people didn't say anything. And then their family members read what you guys read and started questioning people left and right.
Oh,
and so that's why it was such a big deal.
I mean, Rome ruined any ounce of goodwill he has with Survivor, Jeff, CBS, etc.
Oh, he's out of the community. I'd have to guess.
Like that is such to go on a pod. Like, who the fuck ruins stuff for a podcast? That's insane.
Well, it was entertainment tonight.
At the end of the day, it's speculation. Did he do it? Right? I mean, you can't go. You absolutely did this, and so I don't know where he sits with them. I don't talk to him.
Another question from the chat from Nate, not me. Question for Saul: how much credit do you take for Rachel winning? Your advantage to her single-handedly kept her in the game and won the game for her at the end.
All of it.
Yes.
Did you ask her? You're like, can I have some fucking money, Rachel?
No shit. You're in
all the time. And Rachel is the cheapest winner in Survivor history, I think.
Really?
Yes.
Rachel was a good winner. Like we were Genevieve people, Rachel people, and Sam. I think that was a good little group there.
Yeah, Rachel's awesome. She's an amazing winner. She just happens to be Asian, and Asians, they're frugal, baby.
What? This is, I mean, you guys are friendly, I guess, so maybe you know this. She can't get the money until it airs, right?
She gets the money after the season's over.
After the season is done filming or airing?
Airing.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Is that when you guys all get your money too? Like you're placing.
I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about it.
I think it's,
if you're not, don't put yourself.
I can't remember, to be honest, but I already said that. So yeah, we get paid after the season's over.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah,
because like if like one person on the cast is posting Instagrams like a mansion or something, then it might seem a little bit suspicious.
Yes.
Well, I want a trip from my work to the Cayman Islands. And I posted a picture. Oh, and my friend bought me a hat. Damn, it's a real expensive hotel that I've never stayed in myself. But she bought me a hat, so I wore it and took a picture, and everyone thought that I won.
Oh,
well, not everyone. Some people did.
Yeah. That's gotta be a cool feeling too. Do we have anything else on the episode before more just general questions for Saul?
Do any thoughts about the immunity challenge?
I always like the blindfolded one. It's funny.
I thought it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, David just getting absolutely killed. Camilla, no regard for him. I was like, yeah, walk right there, just right into his dick. I think that I always like that challenge.
Dude, how about Thomas's eye? I mean, that is a full-on black eye.
Yeah, that was he heard that in one challenge and it was like, oh, okay, this isn't a big deal. Now it's just like a huge black eye.
Yeah,
huge black eye.
He kind of pulls it off though.
He does. And that sinister laugh that he gives was really good.
Yeah.
In the confessional.
It's so funny. Bianca says she trusts him more than anybody else on the island. He might be the person I trust the least. And I say that with respect. I think he's a good player. But like, I don't trust him at all.
I wouldn't trust him either.
I
love him, but I wouldn't trust him.
We're also seeing his confessionals. Like
True.
Yeah, that's true. But he just, I don't know. He just seems like someone who's almost like he's obviously very bright, and you're like, I don't know if I would trust. He would not be my first choice to trust.
No, I would want to work with someone like Joe. Like I want like the old trustworthy man. That's what I want. Also, Joe,
I have
and speaking of Joe, incredible angle in that challenge. Starting off, like right off the bat,
Did
just
he memorize it before he put the blindfold on?
He must have memorized
He
it.
knew right where to go.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I will say, like, when they're going out in the challenges and there are like a football team, just like, yeah, let's go. Didn't happen one time in our season.
Really?
They're just fired up, and I kind of love it.
Bro, can I ask you about my dude Andy from last season? When just the most wild character arc. He starts off the show just a big dunce idiot. He cries because they didn't cheer for him when he opened a coconut, and he ends up. Speaking of The Godfather, he ends up running the shit by the end of the season. Is that great editing, or did that guy just like was he stupid and he became smart? Like what's the deal with Andy?
Andy had a meltdown for sure.
On like day one.
On day one, that was legit. That was
Okay.
real. I remember sitting on the mat being like, oh, damn, like, is this dude okay? And then he says John Lovett's name. That has never been done before, where we're all like, what just happened? But here's what Andy is all about. So you'll understand this analogy, Nate. So remember like 20 years ago when people are playing poker, it's just like like shove all in, bluffs and stuff like that. Then nowadays it's like GTO.
Right.
There's all this theory involved. Andy is the GTO of Survivor. He knows the game in and out. He knows numbers. He's Rain Man. Andy is Rain Man and can calculate the odds for Survivor, how many people you need to have relationships with in Survivor. I've never seen a player
that
like
was a big thing, Clemmer. Remember him calculating odds, and you were anti-calculating odds?
No, I'm not anti-calculating odds. I think he calculated odds the wrong way. We won't get into minutiae to that. But I disagreed with a certain element of this.
I think I was on your side, or no, I don't
know.
remember.
We were on the right side of that one time.
I don't think it was the right side. I think math.
Oh, yes. I don't remember. I wish I knew exactly. Maybe could someone in the chat I remember you were wrong. Now that we're bringing it up.
I'm sticking with the fact that I was right. I literally have facts behind me. I'm right about.
I wish I knew.
It was basically saying you have an X percentage of winning a challenge, but what he didn't account for was that you have a much better challenge percentage of winning challenge with 4 people left than with 8, and he calculated always with 8.
I don't remember.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
but
you get my point, right? Like the dude can do that. The dude can do those.
Like it had something to do with Kyle. It had something to do with Kyle, where
yes, it was where Kyle had a percentage to win a challenge, but he calculated it with the same amount of winning odds with 8 people as it would be eventually with 4.
It was something like this where the math was right, but the logic was wrong.
That's fine. But the logic affects the math. So
we can move on. People in chat want to know about Teeny.
It's hard to argue about something we don't exactly know what we're remembering.
I'll write this ship. Let's talk Teeny. Tommy, obviously a huge Teeny fan. I can't remember the question in chat. I think they just want to know about her gameplay and what you thought of it.
Or also, what about I guess you weren't there at the time, but she seemed to have a weird thing with Sam. Remember she had the meltdown on the season.
So hated Sam, called him like a jock that she hates, even though he's like a theater kid who does musicals. And she admitted like after the end, it was just a hatred of men, not of Sam, and kind of like got humbled by that. But we liked Teeny for 90% of the show. Was on the wrong side of every vote, was never in the know about anything going on. But not the most dislikable person either.
Yeah.
The thing with Sam was at the end of the day, she said this herself. Growing up, she wanted to be Sam. And she's in her weakest moments on an island, hungry, and she lost it by taking it out on him. But at the end of the day, like, she respects Sam. She loves Sam, and she wanted to be Sam. That was what was going on there. Teeny's game early on was probably the best out of any player on season 47. Everybody loved Teeny. She's so charming. I guarantee it. You guys would meet her. You'd fall in love with her. And I did right away too. The thing about it was Genevieve. Genevieve is I call her the Terminator. And she just got in my head and Teeny's head and ultimately just fucked our shit up.
Not counting yourself.
Yeah.
Who are 3 players from your season you think you'd like to see back on season 50 or any future season?
Sure. Definitely Genevieve. I'd like to see Andy, Sam.
That's 3.
Yeah, that's 3. I could go on and on, but
Who was
yeah.
TK? I don't remember TK Foster.
TK, Dreads.
Oh, from Maryland.
He
Yeah.
got voted out very early. if I
Yes,
remember
second
correctly.
or third episode.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Now, I mean, you got any questions in the chat?
Jack
Something I always like to ask.
Jack wants to know about going shirtless with the vest. Were you trying to curry favor with the female audience? Did you? Someone else asked if you knew your biceps.
Hey, you guys got a sticker of yourself on your water bottle?
Oh my heavens!
I don't. I wish I did. I have a mug with my own face on it.
You have multiple mugs with your own face on it.
That's true. One from Nate.
Was he trying to win favor with? Yeah, of course I was. I mean, why else would I wear a vest with no shirt on it?
Well, let's ask a real question then. How long in advance did you know you were going on the show, and what did you work out a ton? Did you eat a ton? Did you do a water fast? Did you learn to swim better and how to make fire better?
I definitely learned how to make fire because I'm not a camper. I lived in LA for 15 years before I moved out here to Connecticut. Grew up in Oklahoma, never went camping. So definitely fire. I tried to fast I tried to do intermittent fasting for like 2 days. I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to do my thing. And then, even when we were out there in Fiji in pregame, I was eating all the time.
How long is that for?
It's like a week.
Oh, you have a week of normal eating and all that before you go on the show?
It's a normal, yeah.
But you're all by yourself.
But you're there, but you can't talk to anybody. We're all around each other, but we cannot talk to anybody.
Got it.
That's so weird. How long
Are
were
you
you
taking notes, dude?
What's
Well,
that?
I'm listening, and I know some of this because I know like people say they. I think Gabe was telling me at that event that everybody flies out even on the same flight from LA to Fiji, but you don't know at that point yet. You don't know who's just going to Fiji on vacation and who's like going to be a Survivor player,
right?
And you can't really talk to anyone because even if you want to break the rules and talk to someone and be like Alliance out there, you could be talking to a fucking producer or like somebody who looks behind the scenes, and then you fuck yourself. He said that he was sitting next to someone that was like very clearly about to get catfished by a woman in Fiji.
So I sat on the end next to 2 people who are plus. And so I'm sitting like this on a, it's a long ass flight. And there's behind me, there was an open seat with this old man, got his glass of wine on the table. And so the flight attendant comes by. I'm like, yo, can I just sit over there? And she's like, absolutely. Cause she gets it. Okay.
Yeah.
I go up and this old man, he's like, well, I paid for this seat. Did he pay for this seat? And I lost it. I go, that's none of your business if I paid for that or not. I'm sitting there. And then I like stop. I go, oh my God. Chill the fuck out.
Be on my tribe.
You're on a plane to Fiji to play Survivor. This could be a producer.
Yeah. Or he's going to be on your tribe. That's funny.
I have a question, Saul. So when you find out you're on Survivor, how long before you're actually going to Fiji? Like how long? You said you learned how to make fire. Like how long was that time period? Like a month, 2 months?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. It's a long process though. It's hard to get on.
I know.
But yeah, you get like a month or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
something
believe?
I always wonder.
I got a month or so. What was that?
I said something I always wonder is what is it like getting your phone back after that month and just everything poor and like you don't know what you missed in the world. Like I always think like I would have missed.
Did you miss? What month of the year?
We got Donald Trump almost got shot.
Oh,
that's there.
Weird. Okay.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because you were 48. Because yeah, the first one.
47. Wait, was that what happened?
No. Wait a minute. No, that can't be right.
When did that happen?
That happened in July.
Oh, maybe I was here then. What we missed something big, something like that when I was gone.
April and May. Well, I just know this upcoming season is shooting 49 shooting April, May. which I feel like is usually April,
We
May.
got back in the middle of June.
Gotcha. So yeah,
Okay.
you didn't miss that.
So you probably missed Biden's, like you missed the Biden-Trump debate, maybe something like that in that ballpark.
Yeah, what is it like just catching up on the world? Like I always wonder, like, oh my god, checking the Yankee standings. Like, how do we do?
So I left. I remember I left when the Thunder were playing Dallas in the Western Conference Finals, and the game was over. Survivor was over, and I'm at Ponderosa, and I'm dying to know, did the Thunder make the finals? And I'm going to the people who work at the resort, and there was like two dudes wearing like Jordan jerseys. So I'm like, oh hell yeah, they know. So I asked them, they're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What the? So that part sucked, but I will be honest. When you got my phone back, it does suck, man, because your brain is like detox from all that stuff. It's overwhelming.
Wait,
like
who can you tell you're going on Survivor before you go on?
Just whoever signs like your family. That's pretty much it.
And so you had buddies hitting you up. Hey, we're going out for drinks.
Yeah, what was your lie? What was your?
What do you tell just your boys?
I don't think I told them. I just bounced.
What do you do about work? Like with your boss, or does the boss sign the NDA?
So I told my work that I was on a reality show.
Okay,
that was it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I always say, like, if I ever got on, like,
when
I
you get on,
be able to say it.
When you get on,
it'd be the most obvious. If I'm just in like April, like, hey guys, gonna be gone for like a month or so, like gonna be across the globe, like it would be the most obvious thing of all.
You have to go into like anger management.
Actually, that doesn't matter as much. Like if you're on, like that's not a huge deal. Like if people know you're on the show, obviously the big deal is the reveal of how the show went. I think is the way bigger issue.
Yeah.
Or even like knowing who's on it before. That's kind of a fun game.
Yeah, true. Like before like when you're in the LA finals casting hotel or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Anything else from just the process as a whole or the game itself that people would be surprised to know?
I have a question. Making fire.
I just asked him a question.
No. Oh, sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I thought you were opening that up to me and Clemmer.
No.
I thought your question was to me and Clemmer to ask. Sorry.
No, I'm saying, was there anything he experienced out there that was like a surprise? Like, wow, I didn't expect that at all. Of how, this is how this actually works in the show.
Sorry guys, I'm usually in bed like 2 hours.
No, you're fine. Hey, we could end this whenever.
I have a direct question. Before
no, I'm having a great time. I just I can't think of anything, to be honest.
Like how long is the walk up to tribal? Is like that sort of thing. Like we're like, oh, that's a longer.
Oh, that does suck. Because you're walking on the beach, you got to walk in line,
It's brutal.
You're hungry. Everything has to do with hunger. Oh, there was the scene today where Joe's talking about the wine, and they're all feeding into it like they're at a restaurant. That is 80% of the conversations.
Everyone
is
says
food.
that.
Yeah.
Every Survivor player we've ever talked to is always like, all we do is talk about food. And I always say to myself, that seems like the worst fucking thing you could possibly be talking about.
Dude, it helps. For some reason, it helps. It like makes you happy. And you're like, it helps. I get it, but it helps.
I'll ask one last question. The big debate now for 50 is make fire or don't make fire for Final Four. Which side do you fall on?
I like it. I like the fire because I think it's like tradition. But the one I really wanted Teeny to win and beat Sam. I love Sam, but I wanted Teeny in the final. But yeah, I'm for it. And it's not like that right now, guys. I'm good. I just couldn't think of anything about that last question. So
No, it's fine. We are going to wrap up soon.
Jack P523 is a great question. Do you believe that Sue is only 45 years old?
No.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Right, yes.
Would you, if you saw Sue and Clemmer walking down the street next to each other, would you think that Sue could be Clemmer's mom?
Or my age. Like, I'm 45.
Clemmer
no
claims
way.
that
No one
Clemmer
thinks
claims that if people saw Clemmer and Sue walking down the street together, instead of just being like, "Oh yeah, that's a married couple," they would be like, "Oh, look at that nice young man taking his mom for a walk."
Sue was like 25 years older than my wife. It wouldn't make any sense.
You're insane.
That's a fact. That's not.
If people saw you and Sue walking down the street together, they would assume you're husband and wife. They would not think.
I'm with Tommy. I'm with Tommy on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, Saul, you piece of shit.
They would not think that she's your mother.
No, Sue is old.
She's too hot. She's too hot for her age to be the mother.
Yeah.
That's very attractive, lady.
I got one more. This came from chat, but we talk about it on the podcast all the time. Taking the flint. Me and Tommy, I think Clemmer all agree. We don't care about the taking the flint. Let people have fire. Like it doesn't add to the show at least. But it definitely fucks up your life, right? Like not having fire out there. It has to really.
So we were out there, and it like we didn't have fire for like 4 or 5 days, and it wasn't terrible.
But how do you eat? You just don't. It's just coconut.
Well, we didn't catch shit anyways, so we just had. What is more important is the machete, so you can cut the coconuts. But yeah, fire wasn't really a big deal. It's especially when Rome is the only one who gets to use it.
Yeah, I love how much you genuinely hate Rome. That's awesome.
I mean,
all right.
I used to hold that back, but now I don't care anymore.
Before we go, we got to end with 3 things we always end with, and I'll let you go. Someone from 48 that has a 0.0% chance to win, your winner prediction, and jib cut of the week. Whose jib did you like the cut of this week? Clemmer, we'll start with you. We'll let Saul think.
Sure. My 0.0% is still Say. I think Say has no shot at winning this game. And now that the tribes are broken up, I think it could get really bad for my winner pick. I don't like that Bianca trusts Thomas so much, but I kind of like Bianca's thought process. She's obviously a good liar, so I'm going to stick with Bianca. But I'm a little bit nervous than I was last week.
And your jib cut?
Jib cut of the week. I'm going to go with Joe for accepting that necklace so nicely. Like he didn't make a big deal about it. I think he knew, oh shit, this is bad for Eva, but he played it off cool as a cucumber. Also, building that bonfire is pretty badass. So I'm going to go with Joe.
Nate?
So during the episode, I wrote down Justin Pizza Man, no chance. So that was my 0. I am now, I mean, Star still has 0. Sai still has 0. They both just have no chance of winning. Winner pick. This might be a little out of left field. Thomas with the mustache. I don't know.
He was my week 1 pick. I don't think
was he?
Left field
He's
at all.
smart.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something about him. I could also give him the cut of my jib, but there's something about him that I kind of like him as a dark horse. I thought he was a dark horse winner pick at least. Tom with the mustache. And then my jib cut will go to Mary. Just what a delight. What a great change of pace, and just I could probably toss her a 0.0 to her face and she wouldn't even care. She's just there for the vibes.
Yeah.
Like I like the cut of Mary's jib.
I'll go and then you'll go. I'll add a 0-0, or I'll add Cedric to my 0-0 tier. Just an absolute disaster.
That's a free space, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Winner pick. I'm actually with you, Clemmer. Before you even said it, something about Bianca's game. I like Bianca's game. She's getting like an under the radar early, but it could build. She seems to be in a good spot, although I guess you never know with the merge.
And she did lose her vote, which is bad. But
yeah, jib cut I got to give to David. I mean, if you don't win the $1 million, at least you can tell your girlfriend you got jib cut week 3 on Snuffing Torches, because this guy needs something. Saul,
he needs a job.
My 0.0 is Cedric. He went from being in a really great spot in a matter of minutes at the bottom. And now when they do merge, all Say and Mary have to do is tell what happened at Tribal Council.
Yeah.
And so, I think he's in a tough spot. My winner pick, I'm going to go with Shaheen.
I like that.
Yeah. he's you saw it in the last episode when he has some flags go up when Thomas says, let's just lose Star's advantage, and he kind of clocks that. And then today with the bracelet, where he sees that and he's like his bells are going off, and he's just a smart dude.
Yeah.
And then
what is this?
For Bianca today, when she lied about her story, she got everyone to believe her. Nobody was questioning it. Even when she reveals to her partner Thomas, like, hey, he was shocked. So she clearly did a good job there, lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her too. I think everybody likes her.
Everyone, that was your first little get a taste of the jib cuts. So thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Saul, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Socials or anything else you want people to know about?
Watch Snuffing Torches every Wednesday night. It was a pleasure to be on. I hope you guys have more of us on. And,
yeah, we definitely plan to.
Yeah, I had a great time, and nice meeting you two both in person. Nate, I'm trying to play some poker with you one day. So
Come
yeah,
to Vegas. Go to Vegas.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah,
have to do it.
World Series.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right, you guys got a date. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Like this video, subscribe to whatever, and I'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.